Hello and welcome to the second and final episode of Mystic Bonds. My name is Jake. I am the GM, and welcome to a Pocket Dragon podcast. What are we? What is it?
It's a pub.
Pocket Dragon Pub. Yeah, Pocket Dragon Pub. Welcome to Pocket Dragon Pub. Let's go around the table, meet everyone, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go based off of what I see. So we're going to go with Solar. Go for it.
Hey everybody, I'm Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, coming at you from the Pocket Dragon Pub, and this is going to be a fun conclusion to the wacky
Death is a conclusion.
Yeah, the wacky misadventures of the stuff that we've been up to, because we as a party rock.
Yeah. We might even know each other's names. I'm not sure though.
I mean, I gave you the opportunity. I think Pip was the only one that introduced themselves, and then we're gonna find out their fate.
James did.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go on. Blonde, go for it.
Hello, I'm that one blonde nerd across the social media. I'm also the owner and creative director of ADH Adventures, where you can find me streaming quite regularly. And I am super excited to be here playing on the Pocket Dragon Pub. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I'm excited to see what happens. Somehow Briar's still alive. I'm not really sure how long that's going to last, especially with the thing in her head and stuff, but it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's good. We're good. Anyway, how are you guys?
Let's go to the Pocket Dragon Pub person in general. Vixie.
Hey everybody, my name is Vixie. I'm your friendly neighborhood producer here at the Pocket Dragon Pub. I invited all these people to come play at the table, and we're having a blast. Currently, my inventor has exploded herself, tried to bite someone, used her spider at least one time, and rolled like crap the entire time. Yeah, I'm hoping she stays alive at least through round 2.
Hey, we play our game, and the dice play theirs.
Yes.
They have a story. Is it a good one? We find out.
Let's remember what happened. As the four of you were transported into another, what seems like a plane or dimension or just world, you're not quite sure. You were introduced to the Weaver, who had noticed that your timelines had been plucked prematurely and not by them. And so they started doing some digging and found out that your fates were not only plucked, but then transformed as your souls were taken and mashed into a creature that should not exist, and became the commanders of said army. You had dealt with James's spirit that came to attack him and take his soul, and you had just finished dealing with Briar's when you had been brought back, and the Weaver had mentioned that he had made a mistake. Now, both of these adventures that you had gone out to deal with, Pip had kind of moved in and out of temporal space and was there and then wasn't there and then was, and it was just strange. And you assume that this problem has to do with Pip. And the Weaver looks at all of you and says, I meant to send you all back to Briar's event, and I accidentally sent Pip to Samira's event. And Pip did not make it. So I'm going to send you to Samira's event, and you will sadly need to deal with both of them. I apologize. Please, as a token, here, and he reaches and he pulls a string and he runs his finger along it and kind of like frays off the excess to make it more of a fine needle, as all of you feel as if your health points had fully regained. You had gained a night of full rest, and you all are able to, all of your spells and all of that have replenished and returned to you. He looks at all of you and says, yes, take your time, and by take your time, I mean you have but a moment. I will be back to send you off to Samira's event. And he walks away and leaves all of you alone, the three of you.
I'm sorry. You said that Pip didn't make right. I'm really still quite confused here.
Listen, I don't think you guys understand. My event was a little bit, Pip wasn't gonna make it. I barely made it out of there.
Well, you didn't have the rest of us. But speaking of that, maybe we should come up with some sort of plan, you reckon?
Probably a good idea, I think.
So, what is it that we all do? And what are we up against? What happened to you before you were plucked out? I was assaulted by a tree. Evidently, Briar was attacked by let's just say a stern,
you had
being.
elemental things. I had I guess it was a ghost or something like that.
A ghost.
Okay.
Well, that is interesting.
It's kind of weird because my aunties say that the spirits of the dead only follow you around if you're guilty about something, or I don't know what I did, but apparently it found me.
Apparently you had a special soul. I'm assuming that's how that happened.
She laughs nervously. Actually, I kind of do, but I don't really like to talk about it that much. I'd rather forget the life I left behind.
So wait, you actually know what happened to you when you died, and you also know why your soul is so special, but you're not going to do a class? I mean, we're in...
I don't know why my soul is special in this situation. I do know that I do remember my past life, though.
Oh, all of you are just so interesting. Can you describe for us exactly what happened? Like, I was sitting under a tree reading, a shadow came, and then the tree decided that I was cute and wanted to give me a hug. What happened with you?
Well, I was working on Galileo, and she motions to her spider. I'm going to use Hanuman as my thing. But yes, she motions. I was working on Galileo. She jerks a thumb at her spider construct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And, well, the next thing I know, I guess I thought the neighborhood kids were playing or something nearby because a little red ball rolled into my shop. Well, I say shop, but it's really kind of like just an empty storehouse that we have.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Where I keep my spare parts and stuff to work in. And, I went to find the kids that lost the ball, and it wasn't an actual kid. It was more like a ghost.
Okay.
I tried to hit it with a wrench, though, so I know it can at least take a hit.
Well, that is good to know.
That'll do.
All right.
Okay. Well,
what's everyone's strength?
I should tell you guys now. I'm an inventor. I make stuff like Galileo, and I've been working on Galileo for a long time.
You know, you remind me of my friend Sycamore. He and you would have just such an amazing time. If we ever get back to any sort of reality, you guys should definitely have a chat. We have more like the mixing the potions and things, but I'm sure you all can make something pretty neat.
Well, is there anything around your workshop? A well, bunch of holes, maybe a cliff.
Not that I'm aware of. It's just a village.
Okay.
We're a whole family, like pretty much in like one kind of area.
Well, the way I see it, we got two options. When we get put back to that place, we can run like the Dickens and get on out of there and maybe lure it out of town. Or we can try going blow for blow like we did with the last one, but I'm not too confident in that.
Well, remember, it's not just that thing we're fighting. We're also apparently fighting Pip.
Is that what they meant? That Pip had been turned into some sort of apocalypse thing?
Well,
I'm not really sure what that means.
I mean, think about it logically. Just they said that we're supposed to become like one of the four horsemen of the end of the world or whatever. And well, doesn't that? I guess to me it makes sense that we'd be fighting.
That's fair.
Pip.
That's fair.
Why are they horsemen in particular? I'm really curious.
I feel kind of bad. He was a nice guy.
Well, you know, horsemen, well, better horsemen than dragon riders of the apocalypse.
Oh,
you know, I will take that. That is fair. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to meet them very long, but
well,
which means we're not quite sure what they're capable of.
All I remember is that they were a little on the small side, so there's that.
They can read our minds, so that's not probably great. I don't know, there's a lot in that to read, but you know.
Well, if something happens to the town, my family's there, so I'd really prefer that we not fight there if we can.
Which means once we get there, we have to figure out a way to run. Now, here's the question. Do you have a back way out of your workshop?
And she starts to think about it a little bit. There's two doors. There's a front door and a back door. The last time I was in a war was, she tries to remember, like thousands of years ago. So I didn't think I would need it in this lifetime. But I always have a back door, so I have a door, at least.
Well, as long as there's nothing powerful big blocking that door, that means you can make a beeline out of it.
I don't actually remember if I blocked that door or not. I spend a lot of time making stuff, and I don't exactly pay attention to where I put it when I'm working.
Now, you say there might be a specter. You know, when I was in wizard school, I knew a guy that was studying necromancy. And not the typical kind of, not what you would think of with a necromancer. He liked to laugh. Liked to laugh a lot. You know, I think about a necromancer and I think a guy dressed in black robes and he's got like black hair and it's covering his eyes and he's always trying to speak like a whisper. Yeah, no, not this fella.
I thought necromancers were a scary story that they told us at night. Now I know they're real. Thanks.
No. It's real. It's very real. You know, you can take a class. You know, it's kind of an elective.
Would you like to use the I know a guy for information on the specter or the thing in which?
Exactly why I said it. Yeah, I knew a guy once. We used to talk about necromancy at lunch.
Yeah, as you are thinking about it and listening to Samira's description of what she had saw, you are aware of something called an attic whisper. Attic whispers are ghosts, usually taking the form of what looks to be children. in like skeletal ghostly form. One of their more frightening aspects of them is if they touch you, they can actually make it so that you can't speak, which means if you need to cast a spell, you're unable to cast a spell. A spell that requires verbal, that is. And that is kind of like their big scary thing, is that they can do that. They can also steal someone's voice as well. And so it's very scary for casters. Casters definitely do not want to be near them. Roll me. I'm gonna still use your I know a guy, but roll me an Arcana for this, just to kind of be like, oh, what do I remember from this conversation?
So yeah, with the Arcana check, we are at 23.
So you also remember that they also have an aura of sobbing, where things around them cause them to cry. Not only do they have this aura, but the other thing that you will know is, it being a specter, it's being a ghost, you know that it has some immunities, things that cannot hurt it whatsoever. Those immunities are death effects, disease, paralyze, poison, and unconsciousness.
Oh, great.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I remember what good old Buster was telling me, these things can't be poisoned. But I'm trying to remember what they were weak to. I know it was full of symbols at some point, but there was something else.
I'll give it to you. They have negative healing, which means that the harm spell will actually heal them, while the heal spell will actually hurt them.
Now, it stands to reason to me that if we're actually dealing with a ghost, well, if people are alive and we try and hurt them, they get closer and closer to being a ghost. Ergo, if something's already a ghost, if we can do something to make them closer and closer to be human, or whatever it was they were before they went, that would probably keep them from being a ghost.
Oh, that must be why my grandma keeps all the holy relics. Well, not I say holy, but it's really just religious symbols in her house.
That could be it.
Oh, I got stuff. Hold on. And she like takes her pack out and she just rolls everything out on the ground for a second. Not like in a messy way, just in a like, it's easier than going through my bag and searching for stuff. And she starts looking for stuff, and she pulls out a bottle with a little liquid in it and says, I have this. I don't know how we can use it because, well, I'm still thinking of a good plan, but it's an invisibility potion.
Well, that
got a good deal on it.
You can turn invisible?
Well, with this, yeah.
I think I'm coming up with a plan.
That's super nifty. You realize, is Rebecca here with us? Is the fox here?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're like opening your thing, like getting the tools and pulling out the vial, she's gone over your shoulder and is just watching super curiously. You take out the vial, she like sniffs it to make sure that it smells good, and then kind of sneezes.
I will also.
That is not ours. You need to.
Samir, I will also say that because of the Weaver, you get your spells back, but you also get your Talisman Dabbler ability back. So if you want to choose the talismans that you want to prep, you can re-prep for the day and get those. Same with James. If James wants to prep or cast any like daily spells that he would normally do as a wizard.
Oh yeah.
I can't. Go ahead.
So, Barbara, Blair,
Samira, actually.
no, the other one.
The fox.
Flower Lady.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm terrible with names.
I don't think I introduced myself. My name's Briar.
Briar, that's right. Like that.
Oh, that's right. We didn't introduce ourselves at all. It was just Pip. I think I rewrote that scene in my head.
Yeah, I think so. So sorry. What are your names again? I'm so sorry. I kind of missed them.
I'm Samira, but you can call me Sam if it's easier. A lot of people have a problem calling me Samira or Samara. I get both.
And I'm James Orville.
Briar looks really confused at the whole, yeah, but some people call me the shorter name because it's easier to say. And she just like has this look of like, okay, what's the difference? That's fine, whatever.
Well, Miss Briar, you wouldn't happen to know how to heal, would you?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I can
healing
do
spells.
I have some.
That would make you our big gun.
Oh,
I don't heal with a gun. I'm a little confused.
It's just an expression.
Oh, right, just an expression.
Yeah, just an idiom. You understand?
Not a lot of guns, where I come from. So.
And you were saying, Miss Sam?
Oh, I was gonna say that I have well, I don't know if it's gonna do the same thing, but I guess we could always see if it happens. My family has a thing where our blood can heal wounds. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have to do some damage to myself, but I don't know if it would work against something like that. It might not be divine enough or whatever.
Well, never know till you find out, so that'll do.
I mean,
a scientific method.
If you want to try to not hurt yourself, I do have a few different things I can do. I can do some more natural medicine with like herbs and roots and things. I can make this like healing plaster that you put on, and it really binds things together and heals them up. And then I've also got a spell or two. They're not like super quick, so I don't know if that's useful. I also have some protective kind of stuff, and
all right.
I can bless things if I need to, tangle things up.
Oh, I can also do something else if that helps. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have this thing where I can make minor magical talismans. They're not super powerful, but they can do stuff like make things hurt more, or increase the power of a weapon, or just very basic things. I figure we should use everything we've got, right? And as she's talking, she's like putting all the things back. She's like packing her bag back up.
Okay, well, if I'm remembering right what Buster was telling me, fighting it counterintuitively might be the way to do it. And you don't want these things touching you. So try and keep your distance. I might be able to make it to slow it down by messing up the ground around it. I'm a real down to earth type person, so. But
same.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, do you keep a very cluttered workshop?
Well, you can walk on the floor at least.
I
think that answers the question.
Oh wait, and catchphrase time. That'll do. All right, now we got some sort of plan. Keep your distance. Don't let them touch you.
Right.
Throw as many healing spells at it as you can muster. You seem like a blunt force type gal, Miss Sam.
Not always. Sometimes I can make things explode, but that's usually if I mess up the connection. It's a lot of trial and error, and my motto is when in doubt, figure it out.
If we survive this, you're going to have to tell me these stories at the tavern. So, and I guess I'm the guy that stabs stuff from far away.
That's a very useful skill. I could throw a healing potion at it too. I don't know if that helps.
If one of us becomes invisible, it might not see that person coming. If we could, it's after me specifically, so maybe we could lure them with me. I could run.
And it would stand to reason best to make Miss Briar the invisible one. That way she can
the
do
invisibility
some sticking and
potion to
moving.
Briar.
Yeah.
Why am I supposed to be invisible?
Well, if you're invisible, you can cast healing spells and move around, throw healing potions, move around, because it'll make it a whole lot more difficult to target you.
That's fair. Is this one of those where the invisibility goes away if you try to make an attack? Because I have some pretty blasty kind of spells that might be useful.
Yes, invisibility it will go away if you are making a hostile action.
Oh.
I don't know that I have anything that's really. So how does healing in combat work in Pathfinder?
Yeah, would that count as
all of my stuff is like 10 minutes? I'm like, I don't know that any of this is actually.
What healing are you trying to do, or what healing spell are you trying to do, or what are you trying to accomplish?
I'm not. This is Solar's plan here. Let's see. So I don't really have a ton. I mean, I just have like the healing plaster. That's like a plaster you make up over 10 minutes that like kind of clots stuff and everything. And I have the flowers that can like help with disease and poison and stuff. That's about it. But both of them take 10 minutes. I don't really.
Healing plaster is actually a single action, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Oh, am I misreading this? Okay, well, look at that.
You purify some dirt and mud into a pliable clay-like plaster, and can aid in clotting and healing. It basically gives the person that is making a cure wounds or a heal check, it gives them a bonus to it, is what it does.
So it's not like a cure light wounds or anything like that.
No.
Is there anything like healing word or cure wounds or anything like that? I haven't seen any spells that seem to be like combat healing focused.
Not in the primal school of healing.
That's in wizardry and divine.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff I can heal you with if we're not actively dying.
Okay.
After the fact, the flowers, let me see what the flowers do. You get a critical success on poison or disease effects, and it gives assisted recovery, so it doesn't look like it really does much in the way of healing either. So, yeah, it looks like I don't do so much of that stuff.
All right.
Would restoring blood have that kind of effect that we're looking for? Or would it also fall into that category of not actively dying? I was reading it and I wasn't sure.
And that's that.
Ancestry feat.
No, this is a positive healing effect. So it is a healing effect, which is what it is harmed by. So it's the opposite. This is to hurt it. Yes, this is what you would be doing.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Because if her blood can do it, then that's an option.
Yeah, and would that count as a hostile action?
Yes.
Okay, so looks like you're the proverbial big gun, Miss Sam. If you can heal at a distance, that's what we need to do.
Well, it's I can't. It's my blood. I can't exactly do that without bleeding out.
You think you could flick it at him and do the same thing?
Maybe. I've never tried it that way before.
So I love that you are all coming up with this plan. The Weaver walks over and is like, "It is time to go." But as you are saying that, I will say that Samir knows that someone has to consume the blood, so they have to physically drink the blood, and that is how they are healed. So
darn it.
It is not going to work. It feels like things are almost stacked against you in this situation, as all of the things that you have are ineffective towards this thing. So the Weaver takes your strings and brings them together and ties them together. And Samira, you hear the sound tuk, 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 as the ball hits your foot. James and Briar, you are maybe 5 feet behind Samira, and you all three of you see the creature in the shadow. You see what looks to be humanoid in the corner. Each of you see someone different. Briar, you hear the voice and says, "You should just give up. It will be so much easier."
Is that the creepy voice in my head?
Yeah.
Burn them all, Ralph. Burn them all.
I can make it so that the transition doesn't hurt.
No thanks. That really doesn't sound like my cup of tea, darling, but thanks for the offer.
And you hear it one last time and say, "Suit yourself." And what would you all have the option to do a thing before we do initiative. So does anyone have a specific action that they would like to do?
Turn and bolt for the back door.
You want to just
She's not in her. She's not. If this is going to go down, not in her family's village.
The answer is Noping.
The
Well,
answer is run.
Yeah, I mean, you.
Well, theoretically, the thought process is.
We're gonna roll. Hold on. We're gonna roll.
Okay.
Roll me. Let me go to your character sheet. Let's see if there's anything that is particularly helpful in this situation. Wow, you've got
nothing. When I cast mage armor.
I assume you would have cast mage armor at the.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I just wanted to put that out there for the viewers.
Yeah. Let's just imply that you did that while you were there. All right, maybe you'll get it off of a wild roll. Roll me a religion roll.
A religion roll? Okay, great.
I see it now. Shall I rebuke you?
Let's see. Religion, there it is. Oh, I have a +1 to religion. That's going to be a good time.
That's why I said we'll see.
It's a big old 13.
You aren't sure if running is a good idea because that just allows this thing to run free. But also, it means that your soul doesn't get taken. So you're kind of conflicted. Like, running would save you, but it doesn't necessarily mean it would save your family.
I think she's running with the idea that it wants her, since she's the chosen one and is one of the four, whatever.
Sure.
So if it wants her, it's going to give chase. Theoretically, that's her thought process behind running the hell away.
All right, so you're running. What is James doing?
I'm checking to see what my singular action things are. Yeah. So we're in there. We heard the duk. We saw the ball roll and hit her in the foot. That being the case, if I have a singular action, I'm gonna pick up the nearest thing and just chuck it at the area that the ball came from.
Okay.
So just kind of thwap,
Okay.
I don't care if it's a pie. I'm just throwing something.
You could grab a random spanner and just chuck it. All right, what's Briar doing?
Does it look like people are living in this structure?
I mean, it's Samira's like
It's like a warehouse full of stuff. Yeah, it's like
is it like the outside workshop or is it like the house? There's like people.
No, it's an outside workshop. Like it's its own little space. Okay. So it's not attached to anything that I'm aware.
How attached is it to?
Or is the question, does it have a ceiling?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does have a ceiling. Okie dokie. And Samira hasn't run out of the building yet, right?
She's running.
I'm asking what you would like to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to decide here what makes the most sense. Rereading the new spells here. So she kind of looks around the very odd-looking warehouse, pulls out her hand, and it kind of the petals kind of fold in, and it suddenly just bursts into flame.
Okay.
He's going to hold a scorching blast to yeet at everything that looks not fun.
Great. So all of you, with your actions in which you're doing, let's roll a new initiative.
Woo! That's a 24 for Sam.
That's a 19 for James.
Is this just perception again?
Yep.
25.
Oh, it's perception?
Yeah.
Okay, not straight up initiative, in which case that's a 28 for James.
Nice.
Yeah, so initiative, that bonus that is on top of whatever skill you use for initiative. So some feats say like, oh, you get improved initiative. So whatever you do for initiative, you get a +2 to it. So that's why the initiative is its own line with a +0.
Okay, so it's for bonuses, or it's for bonuses to the thing, but all right, yep. Got it. So
sorry, what was Briar?
I get a +9. All right, cool.
What was Briar's initiative?
25.
25. Thank you so much. And theirs is a 12 plus 10, so 22. And let's look at this other person that is here. I wonder who it could possibly be. Oh, wow. The initiative.
Who is behind door number 1?
Wow, All right, so that puts us with James at the front of the line.
Oh, that's new. I'm the youngest and the fastest right now.
Go.
Yeah, in which case, all right, sorry about this. Boop, boop. So it looks like I really only get one shot at this and I can deal with it. So if that's the case, the thing threw the thing out. I threw a wrench at it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to cast Cave Fangs. I'm going to cast Cave Fangs.
Oh boy.
Love it.
Nice. So it is 2 actions. Its range is 60 feet, an area of 20 feet burst. So I assume you're just going to go after this thing since it's by itself. Sharp flow stones formation protrude from the ground and the ceiling, dealing 6d6 piercing damage to the creature in the area with a basic reflex save. So it is going to make a reflex attempt. Let's
Now,
see what
in order to heighten, do I have to spend a final action or
No, so
I was never
heightening.
clear on how heightening
Oh,
works.
sure. So heightening is what spell level you had it prepped. So currently, Cave Fangs is your 3rd level spell. So it
Okay,
can't be
I can't heighten it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you prep it in your 4th level spell slot, it would be prepped as a higher level.
Okay.
So
yeah.
like if you look at the bottom of the spell where it says heighten +1, that's telling you how each level it goes higher, you gain that bonus. So at 4th level spells, it goes from 6d6 to 8d6, and
Right.
then the next would be 10d6. Some spells have heighten 2, which means it needs to go 2 levels higher for its bonus to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I rolled floor dice.
Floor dice. Oh no.
So it rolled a 19 reflex, and your save is a 20, so it fails.
Okay.
So it does full damage, so 66 damage.
Sexy. 26.
Wow, that's great. 26 damage. That's 2 actions. You've technically got 1 more action left.
Let's see. With that last action, I'm going to back up my movement.
Okay, that makes sense.
I love space. You see, space. This thing is kind of needy.
I hear it's
So-
Final Frontier. Briar, it's your turn.
So we can see. Did you say we can see 2 figures on the other side of the?
You only
warehouse?
see 1.
Just see the one. Okay. Cool. So she is going to then use her Scorching Blast
Okay.
to make a blast at this. She just kind of like turns her hand that direction. It just kind of looks like a flamethrower towards baddie number 1.
Yeah. So roll to hit.
Okay. There we go. I scrolled down slightly and couldn't find my attack bonus. That's a 23 to hit.
A 23 is going to hit.
Awesome.
So that's going to do 2d8 fire damage.
Ooh.
Nice. We are going to have a barbecue of ghosts today. That sounds gross, but I don't eat. So you know what? It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay. That is 10 points of fire damage.
Nice.
So we learned from the last one to kind of come in swinging a little bit.
Makes sense. You got 1 more action, and you got a little fox you can command.
Oh, right. Let's see. I guess it doesn't. If the fox gets touched, the fox doesn't talk, so that's not a huge deal. We just won't know what the fox says. So. She's gonna kind of give that airy, like almost like it's going through wood whistle again, and Briar's. I'm confused myself with this. Rebecca runs up and goes to try and attack the skeleton ghosty dude.
Yep. So 1 action for it to move, and the 2nd action to attack. So it'd be its 2 actions,
Okay.
and it's a +10 to hit.
Okay. It's a 19 to hit.
It needs a 21 to hit.
Darn it.
But you have now made it flat-footed for everyone else, which is great. That brings us to Samira.
Hey, so as Samira's running, she catches sight of one of her old inventions, and as inventors do, she gets an idea. And she runs over to it, whips out her tool belt, and I would like to try to make this thing explode.
Okay. Which I believe is 2 actions? Yeah, explode.
Yes,
2
actions. 2 actions. Mm-hmm.
You take your 5-foot burst.
Is it do you consider it a free action to talk?
Yes.
Okay, because as she gets to work, she goes, I'd tell you guys to take a step back. If you don't, it's on you.
All right, so you're going to make it explode. Are you going to throw it at it, or is it an invention near it?
I would like to try and throw this invention at it.
Okay, so roll me a d20 plus 10.
D20 plus 10. Okay. That is 26.
Great. It's going to land right next to it, and it's going to take, it says a reflex save. I rolled a 13, and it has a 13 for reflex, so 26. Your save is is 20. So it's going to succeed, which means it's going to take half damage. So roll your 2d6 fire damage.
Well, it says 2d6, but if at 3rd level and every level thereafter, I can increase my explosions damage by 1d6.
Boom. So then it's 3d6. My bad.
It's 3d6. So that is 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. 10 points of damage.
Nice. You guys are chonking this thing out, which is great compared to the end of last session, where I think you did 40 damage after like 5 rounds, I want to say.
It's so sad.
When none of the spells to like slow this thing down or stop it helped at all.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to slow it. You failed. I'm going to...
I spent the time between shows having a good long talk with my dice.
Our dice went to the spa.
We get back. We burned some incense. We got our sage. Yeah, no, that was a good. Well, we walked right through the tree in the first one, so it couldn't stay that.
True.
Yeah.
So it's its turn, and it's going to move towards the thing that is closest, that did a good chunk of damage. That is also a caster, and it's going to go to Briar.
Oh no!
This is fine.
Yeah. So first of all, both Briar, actually all 3 of you are in its aura of sobs. So all of you, please roll me a will save.
Will save. Let's go.
Okay, this is fine. We got this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a big old 12. Yay! No. Get it.
Well, let's see if we will save on this one. Oh yeah, I'm good. 30.
30, great.
30.
What did Briar get?
Apparently just to like one up a 31.
It's fine. I'll cry for you guys. It's fine.
So,
all that emotional energy. It's really cathartic.
Yeah. James and Briar, you both save. You critically save, which isn't even a thing for this ability, but still. You are also immune to this for an hour. So for just Samira,
you
become stupefied 1.
Great.
Oh no.
Yeah. Stupefied is fun. Stupefy it gives you a status equal to its value. It's stupefied 1. You get a -1 on intelligence, wisdom, charisma based skill checks and DCs, including will saves, spell attacks, save DCs, and skill checks that use those ability scores. Anytime you attempt to cast a spell while stupefied, the spell is disrupted unless you can succeed a flat DC equal to 5 plus your stupefy level. So, but you're not a spellcaster, so you don't need to worry as much about. You're the best one for this to have happened to. The best one. But what's different about this and the other one is that it's just a natural aura that it has. It is not an action it has to spend, so it gets to just do that for free. It is then going to try to touch Briar. So,
Nope.
a 20, a flat 20.
No.
All right, so that move was one action. A touch was the second. It's going to attempt to touch you again.
Ah.
Oh, that's gonna hit.
No.
I rolled a 19, and it gets a +9 to that, so a 28.
Does it get the Does it get the penalty for doing the same action twice?
Yes, so it actually gets a +13 to touch, and so and it is a agile action, so or finesse. So it actually it drops down to a 9 instead of a 13. So that is why it is a 28. All right.
Okay, that's fine. This is fine.
Yeah, absolutely, totally fine. You're gonna take 17 points of damage.
I'm just taking the damage for the team these days, guys. I'm a tree, you know. So.
Yeah. And then it's going to attempt to steal your voice. So please roll me a fortitude save. Or, I'm sorry. A will save.
Okay. It's fine. Oh, that was upside down. I read that backwards. This is fine. Okay, that is a 26.
You feel perfectly fine. Nothing different. As it does that, you all hear the back door that Samira was originally running to open up.
Great.
And
Cool.
you see something horrific. Does anyone have any? Someone has body horror issues.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. I will describe it in the best way I can, and I will put it in spoiler image in our chat, so those who would like to see it could. You see Pip's head.
All right, just his head. I'm already like flinching.
I haven't even described it.
I know. My imagination gets the better of me every time.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, please continue. Don't mind me. I'll just be making faces in the background.
You see Pip's head on top of what looks to be like a long snake body, but it is not snake. It is its body parts. And you see its lungs exposed. That is the description I will give you. For anyone that would like to see it in the chat, they are able to.
It's something out of one of my textbooks from college.
Yep. I mean, it is actually a.
Love it. Yeah, love it. Love it.
I'm pretty sure it is pulled from a Philippines cryptid.
Yes.
Yes. Anyways, so it heads towards Samira, and so it
really poor
flies.
choice of words.
It heads to, huh?
Nice.
You see its lungs flap, and it flies towards you. It is going to try to make a melee attack against Samira. A 30 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay. So it's not a lot of damage, which is great. So it's 2d4. So I rolled a 4. I rolled a second 4. This dice is weighted. How many 4s have I rolled on this? So you're going to take a total of 13 points of damage.
Okie dokie.
But you are grabbed now. It has the ability that when it hits its victims, it immediately grabs them for free. Its second action is it's going to constrict and try to tighten around Samira. Can you please roll me a reflex save, please?
Okie dokie. Oh, God.
I really don't want to
It's a
be one of those
16.
You are going to take, as it constricts and tightens around you, you're going to take additional damage.
Great.
Okay, I didn't roll a 4 that time. You're going to take 8 additional points of damage as it tightens around you. That is its turn. That brings us back to James. James, there is this attic whisper bone child looking thing over in the corner, and then there is Pip and Pip's spirit attacking Samira.
Got to deal with the problem in front of me. So I'm going to do some telekinetic projectiles. Now this thing is primarily bone.
Yes.
All right. So I'm glad I'm in a workshop because tools are about to go flying
Hell yeah.
in a bludgeoning fashion toward that pile of bones over there. So I'm thinking hammers, buckets, wrenches, whatever.
Roll an attack roll. You got to beat a 21 to hit it. Oh, actually, it is flat-footed, so it's actually only a 19 because the little voiceless fox, you know?
18.
Again, so it is the start of a new session, so you do have a hero point that you can use. You can use a hero point.
I do have a hero point, and I think I'll use that hero point because it's not like I'll need it later. You know, no, that'll be good. Okay, now that's what I'm talking about right there. So yeah, my spells are plus 10, so 28.
Oh yeah, 28 is great. I would like to offer you a deal with the devil. So a 28 is going to hit, but a 29 would be a critical hit.
Go on.
I will give you a critical success on this hit, but in the process, one of the things that gets thrown is explosive, and it's going to set the room on fire.
Deal. Absolute deal. Let's do it. Deal all the way.
Yeah,
Let's do
everything
it.
on fire. Let's go.
Right. So
You're
it is
offering me an explosion and a more powerful hit.
Yep.
And I meant to say that you can totally say no, but I know it's automatically heightened. Yeah, no, I can't heighten it any further. But no, you got it. Yeah.
All right. So with that, you're going to roll your damage and then double it. So, was it 46 right now?
Well, 66 now, because heightened. Or is it automatic?
It's automatic. It already does it for you.
curse.
So it's 4d6, and then you're just going to double that. So you don't have to roll it twice. You can just double the number.
So remember what I said? Don't you love it when they roll in sequence? In the last session, yeah. This didn't roll in sequence. This was a stupid tease. The roll is 19. I got 3 6s and a 1.
So you're going to do 38 points of damage.
Woo!
As you all see, as Samira, I would say you specifically, as you see things starting to move and fly across the room, I'd say instead of it being a flammable object that it throws, that there is maybe a canister that was behind
Even better.
the creature, that when a wrench goes and hits it, and you can see it crumbles the rib cage, and it starts to it breaks through, and the wrench hits the metal container, sparking it as the gas starts to release, and the entire room just ignites into flame, and the whole entire, it starts to literally rain down fire into this room. But here's the thing, James. As the smoke kind of clears around it, the Attic Whisperer is just a pile of bone and burning cloth on the ground as it is gone. It is just decimated from its existence, leaving you to deal with Pip, and only Pip now. Well, that and the constant raining fire in the room.
It'll help.
Yes, yes.
That'll do.
Yeah. So you technically have one more action. You have one more.
I do. Well, yeah, that'll do. Now I turn my attention to Pip, and I travel to try and free Samara.
Okay, cool. You head over towards Samara. That is going to bring us to Briar.
Okay. So
And
it is.
before you do anything, please roll me a reflex save.
Oh boy. Okay. I love these dice. I have to pick them up to read them.
I love them. Here's why I hate them. Anyway.
Oh, prettiest dice. I'm not, but okay.
They're fantastic to look at and not read.
Yep, exactly. There's no glancing over to see what now these ones on the other hand. These are easy to read. Okay, so that is, you said a reflex save. I'm okay at those. Okay, that's cool. I can math not today. 23.
23. So you're going to succeed, which means you're going to take half damage as fire is literally raining down and things around you are catching on fire. The entire facility is difficult terrain, so it's going to be difficult to move around. You can just run through and use your full movement, but you're going to have to make a reflex save. If you want to move at half speed, you can avoid the flame, but on the start of each of your turn, you're going to have to make a reflex save and possibly take damage. So, well, you are so lucky because I rolled a 1 on the damage and you can't take half points of damage. And I'm not going to round up. So fuck it. You take nothing. That's how
Good thanks, sir.
So
Let's hope that's not the last
Protected
of the
by the
GM's
power
grace.
of God and anime. Let's go.
Conveniently, I have a reaction for this that I didn't think I was going to get to use, and now I am so excited. So I'm assuming like some debris, some like burning debris kind of falls towards her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as this burning debris falls towards her, she looks up and kind of like sees that the room's on fire, and she looks up and she catches like a little bit of the burning debris. And she goes, well, I wasn't really planning to use this today, but I really don't want to turn into one of those. I'm not really sure what I turn into. I don't have black lungs and all that. Anyway, and she just pops the fire into her mouth and starts chewing it. And smoke and stuff kind of starts coming out of the woodworks, literally. And she just keeps chewing on them. She has resistance 5 to fire damage. And she can belch smoke in just a second here.
Hell yeah.
So,
I love this.
That's super
Wait,
cool.
you eat fire and then become resistant to it?
uh-huh. See, it goes in and there's this really specialized like plant sap on the inside, and it kind of combines with the fire and ignites this ancient like magical heritage. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Don't need to know how.
I need this
That's
concept
metal.
for science.
I'm the medical scientist person here, so we gotta make up fake medicine.
Yeah.
So she just kind of keeps chewing it, and she's just little like she has all of the crisscrossing like branches and everything, just smoke kind of coming out generally as she walks over.
Yeah, it is. There are some very cool, interesting things with Pathfinder. Eat fire is one of my favorite ones. Inside rope is my favorite top tier spell.
That sounds cool. Is that like rope trick kind of?
It is if you need rope and you're in a bad situation, you reach inside of your stomach and pull your intestines out and use it as rope.
That's
Not
amazing.
that we're playing the
I'm
RPG
here.
version of Ricky O, but
Oh God.
I tell you what, reading like the background on like the Goran and like all of these different, I'm just like, Pathfinder is something else. And you know what? I am here for the energy we have created in the studio today. So she's just walking over to you guys, smokes billowing out everywhere, chewing. You see like the little like embers here and there. She's chewing on this fire, and she's like glowing very slightly with kind of like a reddish tinge. And any other fire and stuff that comes, it just doesn't do anything. She very slowly, methodically walks over, and she is going to. What's she going to do to this guy? That's a reaction, so it doesn't take one of my 3 actions, right?
Correct. It actually happens on their turn. Yeah.
Cool. So she is going to. Let's see. We need something where I don't have to talk, and that I can specify hitting Pip and not Sam. As she's walking through, I'm assuming there's bits and bobs of metal and whatever all over the place, right? So she just like picks up these like little tiny pieces of metal. Okay. And as she's walking, she's just like rolling them between her fingers and making this little pile of these teeny tiny needles. And then as she gets closer to you and Pip, she kind of like tries to figure out where Pip's wrapped around you. And let's see. Okay. And she just takes them and literally just throws them at you. Well, not at you, at Pip.
What is this spell?
So this is needle darts. And it actually packs a pretty decent punch, it looks like.
Oh yeah, it does. So you're gonna roll to hit it. Its AC is 22.
The elemental druid has some metal spells. Okay.
Boy.
Metal.
I can't read these stats. Okay, that's a 22.
A 22. A 22 is it meets, it beats. So
Yay!
I'm feeling 22 is now playing in my head.
so you're going to do 5d4 damage.
Sweet. Okay. All my D4s are missing. Rip my feet later. This is fine. Oh, okay. Okay, that is 14 points of piercing damage. As all these needles all the way down the lungs, I guess. This is a weird kind of acupuncture. We're trying to deflate the lungs, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking about the air wings making a freaking balloon noise.
Yeah, like... I guess they're not necessary for breathing anymore, but they've got to do something.
Oh, that probably stinks. Ugh. I have to smell that because I'm wrapped in it.
Yeah, smells are the only thing that... Oh, now I'm thinking about it.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
fine.
thought about it and then I shared it because I couldn't be miserable alone.
Come on, guys. We're 5th level adventurers. We've seen some things.
I worked in healthcare for 10 years, and smells are still the thing. I don't know why. I can see anything. But...
Look, it's okay. After talking about Inside Rope, I have not stopped thinking about Inside Rope and what is it called? Shimabari.
Oh my gosh!
And those two things mixed together.
I can't unsee it. Why?
And to all that, I'd like to include Double Dutch.
No. God.
All right.
So anyway, this fight's getting real.
This has been your friendly non sequitur.
Yeah. So it happens. It starts to pierce Pip. You do a really good amount of damage. You've got and you moved over to it. So that's all 3 of your actions. Samira, it's your turn.
Yes. I would like to ask a question. So if I
would like to answer that question.
I'm currently constricted, so that means I can't move my hands.
You are technically grabbed, which means...
Okay.
So what grabbed means is that you, if you would like to take a manipulate action, basically you have to roll a flat D20 and roll above a 5 or above to be able to accomplish doing the goal.
Okay. Because I would like to try to do overdrive. But I wasn't sure if I could move my hands to do so.
You can attempt to. So grab is a thing that someone can just do to you. Grabbed means that you are flat-footed and immobilized. So that means you can't physically move out of the space. And if you want to make a manipulate action, which I believe
overdrive is a manipulate.
It is. So what you'll have to do is take a D20 and roll it and hope that you roll above a 5.
Okay, let's go.
12.
Easy. Yeah.
Perfect. Great. So you can continue to try to do that. So to do overdrive, it's a single action, and you have to roll a 20. But it's your spell casting? Crafting check.
Crafting check. Yes.
Ooh, which you are stupefied, so you are taking a minus to that. So,
but I still have a hero point. So
maybe you have to. With this, you have to roll a 9 or higher to succeed.
That's a 25.
Done. You succeed. So it's a success. It's not a critical success. So your gizmo goes into overdrive, adding power to your attack. As critical success, extend the additional damage is equal to half of your intelligence modifier. So you're going to add your intelligence modifier to all damage that you do with your gizmo.
Okay, great.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
So you've got your overdrive going. Why don't you use venomous, take a single point of damage, and
oh, that's right. I forgot I had venomous.
And then use your Vispa, and that would give you even more damage.
Okay. So she's that's what I'll do then. I will grab my Visp. Or Vispa, I forget.
It's a Visp. It's a Visp.
It's a VSAP. VSAP is what it is. So she pulls out her VSAP. She she runs it across her arm, and she does this in a really subtle way to not like let this thing know that she's doing a thing. And then she tries to smack it with her VSAP.
All right, roll an attack.
Okay.
How very Fossy.
Jazz hands. Anyway. There is the VSAP.
You need to roll a 10 or higher on your dice.
That is a 23. I rolled an 11.
Perfect. So you succeed at hitting it. So you're going to do 1d4 plus 2 plus your intelligence modifier. So you're going to do 1d4 plus 5. I preemptively rolled its fortitude save against your poison, and it got an 11.
Okay.
So that means it failed, which means it is going to take an additional 1d4 damage each round for the next 6 rounds.
Giggity. Yay, venomous. Okay.
That's why I told you to do it.
So roll for damage for the weapon we're doing, right? Sorry, there were a lot of numbers thrown at me at once.
You roll 2d4. That's all you got to do.
Okay, so that's damage. 1d4 plus 2, and then I'm good. So that's the first one's a 5. And the second one is a 6.
Wait, hold on. You
said,
just roll 2d4.
I did roll 2d4. I rolled a d4 twice.
Okay, how'd you get a 6?
It's a 4. It's because the weapon does 1d4 plus 2, but it rolled a 4 on the die. I rolled a 4.
Okay, so you rolled a 4, and then what was the first roll?
It was a 5. So I think I just rolled a 1 on the first die.
So that's a total of 5 plus 5, so 10 damage total. Okay. Cool. All right. That is all 3 of your actions. You overdrived, you did venomous, and you attacked. So you did a Pathfinder. Congratulations.
Yay! I did a Pathfinder.
Congratulations, you did a Pathfinder. That means it is Pip's turn.
Oh no.
As Pip decides to have some fun with this, and it decides to use its elongated tongue to make an attack. Its tongue grows to 10 feet long, and it is going to make a strike against Briar, because Briar is the closest that isn't being constricted. Weirdly enough, you're going to roll a perception check. So you have to roll a perception check.
Okay. That is an 18.
Okay, cool. Please roll me a fortitude save.
Okay, sure. Yep,
This is fine. It's fine. Guys.
that is a 27.
So you're going to be drained 1. I will add that to your character sheet. Drained 1 is you're going to lose a max number of hit points. So and you're going to have a reduction in your con modifier. So that's fun. Yep, it's going to make straight. Samira, please roll me a reflex.
Reflex, great. I love
It's
this.
a
I love this for
lonely
me.
child.
That's a 17.
A 17 is a failure.
Aww.
It's fine. That voice in my head was wrong, okay? It's wrong. We're gonna
I really should have taken the grease spell.
Take 11 points of damage.
How's
How's Samira? Yeah, how's Samira feeling?
She's feeling not great. She's looking pretty rough.
Okay. All right. All right. That is it. Constricted. It used its elongated tongue. Oh, it gets one more attack. Isn't that great? This time, see, James is too far. It can't attack James. So I guess it's just going to, it's going to constrict Samira again.
Great.
Roll me a reflex save.
No. Reflex. Come on, natural 20. Let's go. Natural 20. Why would you do this to me? It's a 14. I only rolled a 4. The Pathfinder dice does not like me.
they have words today, and they're not nice words.
8 points of damage.
Great.
That brings us to James. James, this thing is not doing well.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I can you please roll me a reflex save?
Oh,
James? Yes.
I myself?
Yes. And it is also going to roll a reflex save, and so Samira. We're all going to roll reflex saves.
Wait. What happened?
Layer actions.
Wait, what just happened? Sorry.
Everyone is supposed to roll a reflex save on their turn, and I only made Briar do it. So, Samira, please roll it.
No. I have to make this dice that... Oh, okay.
That'd be 18.
Okay.
22!
You're each going to take 2 points of damage.
No. Okay.
All right. As
okay.
James, you're about to go, you start to see that the space around you is starting to kind of like mix with your like the classroom that you were all sitting in and waiting in, and you're starting to see stars through the building itself, and you're all just feeling just so strange and so weird as it looks like the walls themselves are starting to be like pulled away as you are all standing there, and you all see it. You see him. It is a purple and blue glowing skeletal beast that looks like it has a drape that is hanging over it, and it holds a large mace in its hand. And you all, even without knowing it, just looking at him, you can see that this is what did I name this character? Marvok. You see it, you notice it is Marvok. And before you can do anything, we're going to take a break. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Come back to see the conclusion of the show. Welcome, everyone. We are coming fast to an ending of biblical proportions as the walls themselves rip away, and you all see the doomsayer himself, the person in which you had only heard rumors about, but can see that he is ready to take your souls himself instead of his puny minions. It is James's turn. You still have Samira entangled with Pip's former existence. What would you like to do?
Quick question. I've cast a level 3 spell this turn. I can only do it once per day, or
you have 2 third level spells.
Okay, yeah,
that you have prepared. So you cast Cave Fang. You also have Meld into Stone still.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So if I wanted to cast Cave Fang again, am I capable of it, or am I stuck having already prepared Meld into Stone?
I believe there is a way for you to regain a spell slot in which you have expended based off of your wizard scroll.
Mm-hmm.
It's like through your focus. I think it's like tap focus or something like that. Drain bonded item. You expend the magical power of your bonded item during the current turn. You can cast one spell you prepared today that was already cast without spending a spell slot. You must still cast the spell and meet the spell's other requirements. So as a free action, you can bond, or you can drain your bonded item, whatever that might be, books, wand, whatever.
My staff, yeah.
Boom, and you can recast Cave Fang if you would like.
Okay. So I take a look at the new guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I thought you'd be taller. And I cast Cave Fang, essentially from my staff.
Sweet. I believe it's a reflex save.
It is.
All right. These. All right, and I rolled a 4, so a total of 18.
And my spell save, if I recall correctly,
Is a 20, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woot!
Nice.
And that's 66 damage. And that would be 19.
19. All right. You've got one more action.
So I just pulled the attention of the BBEG onto me.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to take a step behind something. I'm gonna find something to hide behind.
You're going to spend an action to take cover. That is smart. One of the things that most wizards do, because you always have that awkward free last action. So most wizards, for one of their cantrips, they usually take shield and they cast shield on themselves so that they could just have a little tiny bit more AC and use that pesky last annoying action that they do not know what to do with. That was your turn. That means it's Briar's turn.
This is going to be fine.
Yeah.
I really believe in us. I'm really not sure who we are or where we are or what's going on, but I'm sure that it's going to be fine. Okay, so how far away is the bad guy here? The big bad evil guy?
I would say 30 feet away.
Okay. Cool. That's fun. Samira is, words. Sam is still being squished by disembodied lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Great. Love it. Love that for me.
We love that for her. Yeah, we do. Not so much. Okay. So casting, this is... I'm so sorry. How do I tell how many actions a spell takes again?
The number of little diamonds that it has on it.
Right.
So, what spell are you looking at?
I was looking at Protector Tree because I feel like our squishy boy needs a buddy.
That is 2 actions.
But Needle Darts is also 2 actions, and we need to get our inventor friend out of here before she becomes smooshed. Okay. Guys, we need just one thing to focus on. This is too many things for the tree, okay? And so move this back in the woods. Okay, well, she is going to attempt to free Sam so that they can hopefully... Actually, I think I have another thing that could help with this. Hang on. Sorry. My things here.
So one of the other things that I will say, you kind of did it outside of combat, but is helpful in combat sometimes is when you're going against something, spending an action on your turn to also roll a knowledge roll of some sort to get more information about it. Because it's possible that these things have weaknesses or strengths or things that it's immune to, and it's helpful to know them. And so spending an action on your turn to be like, can I try to remember what the hell this thing is very helpful a lot of the time.
Okay. The demon that's coming after us, or the lungs that are hugging our friend?
Either or, whatever you would like. Both of them have information on them. So,
yeah, we better figure out what we're dealing with. That would make sense. This is a high wisdom character. Okay, yeah. Could I roll to see if I know anything or understand anything about either of these two creatures? And
Sure. What kind of knowledge would you like to roll?
I mean, are they enough of the natural world that would be helpful to roll nature?
So the way that knowledges work is that you can use any skill. It just may change the difficulty of information on that creature, right? So like, let's just say something is an aberration, which is something that is just like not nature whatsoever. That would increase the overall difficulty. Like it would change the DC from like a 15 to like a 20 or a 25, depending on how obscure it is. But you can use any roll to try and get that information. So like you have a plus 13 to nature. That makes the most amount of sense, especially when you've got nothing to arcana, you've got nothing to occult, you got a plus 4 to religion, but you have a plus 13 to nature. That's going to be way easier to try to hit a difficult tier with that kind of bonus.
Okay. I was just debating between nature and survival. I know survival is usually more like tracking and stuff. I didn't know if that included like monsters and creatures. So
no, survival would be more towards the environment or the world itself, not specific creatures.
Sounds good. Well, we'll go with nature because that's our shtick. You never know.
Cool. That's gonna be which one are you gonna go after?
Oh, right. She can only roll it on one of the two creatures, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, for each, yeah.
Probably after the new demon-y guy, because he seems to be the one at the center of all this nonsense. Oh, okay. That is I can math here. 31.
31. Okay.
Wow.
That is great. This thing
include a social security number.
Well, she's been around a hot minute, like several thousand years. So,
so this is a shadow. Is its kind of its tag. So there's like aberration. There's undead. This is a shadow. Is its kind of tag. It is immune to cold damage. It does not have any inherent weaknesses, so it's not like it's like extra. It doesn't take extra damage from anything specific. But it is a spellcaster, and it has curses that it can put upon you. With a 31, I will tell you, its weakest save is will. Its will save is its weakest, but not by much. So. And it has a movement speed that is 5 feet, but it can fly up to 30 feet.
okay.
I'm trying to think with a 31, something that's like really good against it, or the thing it has. It has a curse that it can put on someone that will cause them to continuously take damage that is cold. So it'll just continuously take cold damage, kind of similar to a poison, but it's a curse. So that's what I'll give you with the 31.
Okay. Does she have an opportunity to try and relay some of this to the others?
Yeah, that's a free action. You speaking while attacking is free. Yeah.
So yeah, she is going to, I don't know if you guys took notes, but she's just going to kind of like very, very, almost like she's reading like the almanac or something. Quickly list off like all of the stuff. She's not going to say much else about it. Just like, these are all of the things that this does and is scary about it. And the fire was a good idea, darling. Good job.
Yeah, what would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
It's going to, oh goodness. Okay, this is 4, and this is. We need to get you out of there, Sam. And I'm not going to try shooting my bow at that thing and possibly skewering you. That sounds like a very bad idea.
Or funny.
Huh? Or funny.
Or fun.
Well, you know.
Funny, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we're going to use that needle spell again.
Okay.
So she's just got like a bunch of these like flecks of metal she's been like picking up. Gosh, the elemental druid thing is very fun. And she is just going to again take another like handful of darts that she's been like rolling and formatting and just throw them at the lungs again. She's going to try and pop them.
Great.
Like a balloon.
Roll to hit.
Okay. Got this. Nat 20! Woo! We won the nat 20s, but I also won nat 1s, so I feel like this is
This is the achievement.
Okay, roll your damage and double it.
So,
So 5d4.
and it also takes 3 persistent bleed damage.
So it should have taken 3 last time because you had hit it before. So
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, also, isn't it poisoned? It's supposed to take damage because it's poisoned from my envenom.
yeah, on your turn you rolled the extra d4. Remember?
Copy. Okay. I thought it was a thing that it took on its
Yeah,
my bad.
it will continue to take it. It was just that the first round we took it on your turn.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is 30 points of sharp, pokey, piercing needle damage.
Wow.
Now that she's kind of gotten an idea of how hard to throw these things, she just tries to shred the side of it basically with these sharp, pointy needles.
You doubled the amount of damage it had taken up to that point.
Yes!
Woo!
Yeah.
Take that, floaty, gross lung things. Let our friend go.
That's gonna bring us to your turn, Samira. Now, here's the thing: you can spend an action to try and get out of its grip. That is an option. You can roll an acrobatics to try to slither out of it.
Okay.
If you'd like.
Yeah, I think that's what she's gonna try. Now that she once that attack hits and she gets a sense that she might have a chance of getting out from it, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
What do I roll? Sorry.
It's going to be an acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Okay. 26.
The exact number you needed to hit. It has a reflex of 16 and it's reflex DC of 26. Wow, you all are hitting the exact numbers on these. Yeah, you're able to escape out of it. It is no longer grabbed onto you. That is one action. You've got 2 more. Your weapon still has that intelligence modifier bonus to it because of overdrive. So what do you want to do?
That's good. Does my construct count as a weapon, or does it have to be a weapon that I'm physically holding or that's on my body?
So the overdrive is on a specific item when you use.
So if it's on my wrist launcher, then
you had used it on the poison thing.
The VSAP. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. All right. I have 2 more actions. It's a hard because I don't mind using. I know I have the VSAP, but I don't think I can use explode. Can I? Or no? Overdrive is the one with the cooldown time.
You can use it. It takes 2 actions, but it's in a 5-foot burst that you would be in.
Right.
So some options for you, if you wanted to do them, you could. Did you make a potency item?
Yes. When we were making.
Yeah. So you could. That's a free action. So you could use your potency rune on your VSAP, attack with it. Which would give you a +1, and it would double the amount of die damage you do. So it would be 2d4 again.
Okay. Sure. I think let's go for broke. She's already got no HP, so she's going to activate her little potency crystal. Mm-hmm. It's a potency crystal on the VSAP, which still has poison on it, right? Or do I have to?
So the poison only lasts until the end of your until the start of your next turn. It is already poisoned. So yeah, you can't re-poison something.
Okay. So what I would like to do, sorry, that would be my cat going places he's not supposed to, is just run and try to stab it with the VSAP.
Yep. Roll for an attack.
So let's go ahead and roll for the VSAP. It's only an 18.
You have not spent your hero point.
I will spend my hero point to reroll.
And remember, because of your potency, it's technically a +13, not a +12.
Oh, it would have been a 19 with +13.
So you need to get a 9 or higher to succeed this roll.
That's a 24. I rolled an 11.
Perfect. So. 24 hits. So you're going to do 2d4 +5.
2d4 plus 5. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna actually physically roll these so I don't confuse myself. Come here, d4. There's no d4 in here. What happened? That's all right. I have a spare.
They always like to escape.
Okay, so that's a 2 and that's a 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 5 is 11.
11. Great.
Mhm.
All right. You have one more action.
Oh yes. I'm gonna use that last action on Galileo, and I'm gonna make Galileo attack.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Galileo attack. I guess. Marva.
Magnifico.
Yeah, that guy. he gets some attacks too, right? So I'm rolling
Yep.
him?
So it will be a plus 10 to hit.
plus 10 to hit. 23 for
A
him.
23 will hit.
Okay, cool. And then his damage die is what?
It is a D. Are you doing a fist or a spike?
Fist, because that gives me 2, right?
It gives you 2.
Sorry, he gets both. One for. Doesn't he get like? Why did I think? Oh, I'm thinking of my action equals 2 of his actions, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So the fist does more, but the second attack is at a plus 5 instead of a plus 6. So it just
Right.
you can do more damage, but it's less likely to hit more than one time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with fist. It's fine.
Okay.
So it's a D6.
Yep. No, a D8 if you're fist. If you're
D8.
doing-
D8. Okay. D8. That's a 4 on the
Okay.
die.
Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Okay.
Okay. And then he's gonna try to hit again, and it's only plus 5 this time, right?
Correct.
Ooh, he definitely misses. It's a 12.
Okay. Yeah. That brings us to Pip's turn. So it is angry at you, and it's going to make a melee attack at you. I rolled low. Does a 21 hit? No, wait. 7 plus 14 is 21.
Who is he striking? Me?
You, Samir.
Okay. 21 does not hit. Actually, it's 1 below. Yeah.
All right. It's going to make a second attack at you with a plus 9. 17 plus 9 equals 26. Does a 26?
That hits. That
All right.
hits.
It's just going to go for broke and just try to go after you the entire time. So we're going to a third one.
Oh boy.
This sucks.
But a 21 is not going to hit.
I forgot I have a reaction. I didn't to the 27.
Okay.
I have a thing here that says I have a reaction called shield.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, shield block is what it is.
So you can actually at any time spend a single action to raise your shield on your turn and increase your AC by 2.
But I don't think it would do anything for 27, right?
No. But shield block, while you have your shield raised, so if you spend an action on your turn to raise it, and you get hit, you can the shield can take the damage over you. But since you didn't hold your shield up,
as my turn on my turn. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Never mind.
All right, so it is going to do a whopping 2d4 plus 5.
Great.
8 damage. 8 damage.
8 damage.
8 damage.
-8.
Mhm.
Ooh, Samira's bleeding. Samira's starting to really look hurty. Like there's blood at the corner of her mouth. She's got blood coming down her nose. Not great.
Oh no.
Not a good time.
The Marvok hovers and moves forward and points at James and is going to cast Shadow Blast.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could play a cleric.
I'm sorry, I thought Druidy Rangery stuff had Druidy Rangery stealing stuff. I'm sorry, I can do it after we get out.
It's okay. I want to be an inventor, I said. What could go wrong, I said.
Yeah.
James, please roll me a will save.
Yep. Let's
Actually, you get to choose. Do you want to make a reflex or a will save? It actually allows you to make the choice.
It really doesn't matter. They're the same bonus.
Okay.
So, making the roll and 15 plus 11, that is 26.
26 against his spell casting DC, which is a 23. So you succeed. So you're going to take half damage. Half damage of 5d8. So half of 5d8. So it was going to do 29 points of damage. So you're going to take 14. Yep, 14 from that.
Okay.
That was 2 actions. Actually, it moved forward and then it attacked the Shadow Blast. That brings us to James. It's your turn.
All right. Having sacrificed my floating disc and pummeling rubble, along with my create food and water walk, I have a little something special. So, since I look at him like, shadow blinding, you know what else is dark? Caves. And I cast Cave Fangs again.
Nice. And that's on him, right?
Oh yeah. This is.
So I rolled a 1.
Critical failure. Okay.
Yeah. So I rolled a 1, which is great. Which I'm sure there's no way that whatever his bonus is to reflex is a plus 15. So 16, I assume, is a failure.
Correct.
And then we drop it down to a critical failure. So what does the critical failure on Cave Fang do?
Nothing.
It doubles damage. It doubles.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it doubles damage. Okay. All right. So let me get back to.
How the saves work is if it says basic reflex or basic con or whatever, how it works is a success is half, a critical success is 0, a failure is full damage, a critical failure is double. So
I like this. I like this a lot. So it's 66 doubled. That would be 52.
It is. You guys have done exactly 69 points of damage to it in
Nice.
in 2 hits.
Did we win Pathfinder? I feel like that made us win Pathfinder.
That's pretty great. Do you have any other actions? Because I can't remember if the meld thing takes an action.
No, it was done during my prep time.
Oh, gotcha. Sure.
Yeah, that was the thing. So I still have an action left, and I am going to continue to hide.
Cool. You can. You're already there. If you'd like to roll a roll to get any information about either of the creatures, you could.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to do an Arcana check.
Sure.
Who is this guy? Or what is this guy? When is this guy? Why is this guy?
I will tell you, you have probably all of the information that you are going to need on him. Maybe rolling it against Pip might be more helpful.
Okay. So, you know what? The pointy-fingered spider guy told us a lot about this dude, except for how to kill him. But what is that? What is that air wing thing over there? Plus 12. That is 22.
It has a weakness to slashing damage. If you do any form of slashing damage to it, it will take an additional 5 points of damage on top of that, which actually makes me remember, Samir, is your Vipa thing, is that a slashing damage? Your VSAP?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
My VSAP is slashing damage.
It should have done an additional 10 damage to it because you had hit it twice and it has a...
Right.
80.
Oh, wasn't it also? Is it also poison? Does that go into effect now? Or
I forgot to roll it on its turn. it takes an additional 1. So, boom, it is there. As it takes the last tick of poisoning damage of its life, it starts to just, as its last ditch effort, the bile flies over all of you. Briar, with your failure, you're taking 13 points of damage. Samira, with your success but not critical success, you're going to take 6 points of damage. Pip has vanished and has passed away. Briar, it is your turn. Surprisingly, the thing that has been hit the least has taken a massive amount of damage and already is not looking good. You've got some high level damagey spells. What are you going to do?
Yeah, and she has a clear shot at this guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Cool. You know what? It's really nice of him to make sure he wasn't too close to any of us. I will write him a thank you letter. Never. So I am just making sure this is the most absurd damage spell. Yeah, okay, he flies, so we don't need to worry about that. Cool. Yeah, so she looks back at this how do I keep forgetting his name? Margok's floating there. Okay, so I get that you had like this whole apocalypse thing planned, but I don't think we really want to be a part of it. You know, you could just leave now and go back to whatever plane you're part of. Just a thought.
It cannot speak. It does not have the ability to speak.
Cool. Okay, well that does make communicating a little bit difficult. Like
you just hear like you see the glow come out of its like its teeth, and it literally just.
Well, that does put a damper on our relationship. So as she's saying this, there's like this very sweet smelling like lilies and lilac smell coming off of her. You know, boost that diplomacy a little bit, help with the fire and ash smell, but it doesn't seem like that matters. Well, all right, I guess if that's the lot that we have chosen here. And she is going to pull out just like a single pine needle that was just like kind of caught in the fabric of her top, which I totally forgot to describe this. Her clothes just melded into like more of like wood armor. And they actually got in combat. She pulls out like this one little pine needle, and she just kind of looks at it for a second. I'm really glad I kept a couple of these. And she blows on it, and it starts glowing with the last bits of ember that she had in her mouth. And she just blows the pine needle like a little dagger right at him and casts Fireball.
Nice.
I'd like to cast Fireball. I didn't ask how big the room is.
This is going to be a good time.
It's already burning.
It always happens at a role-playing game. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
Where is it? Cast Fireball.
So he rolled a total of 26 on his reflex, so it's a success, but not a critical success. So he's going to take half of the damage. So you're going to roll 66 damage.
That is 25 points of fire damage.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that little pine needle just soars and then Fireball. Very unassuming until it's not.
That would be 12 if you're rounding down.
No. Yeah, I was just adding it to 69.
Nice.
Yes.
It is not looking well. Like it is barely holding on. The purple glow in its chest is like starting to dim, as you can see like what remaining pieces of like almost like cloth on him are starting to kind of just burn away off of him. You have one more action. Is there anything that you can do in that action?
Mortal Kombat. Finish him.
Finish. You said he's
Tend
really
to
not.
Samara.
That takes me too long. I'll get to it after, I promise. I got you.
I'm still up. I'm fine. I'm fine, guys.
It's fine. So seeing that this thing is still standing, she just kind of very slowly sighs in resignation. Things move way too fast for trees here. And she pulls up her fist and pulls it together, and all of the little cherry blossoms on her fingernails kind of pop, and there's another burst of flame, and she just throws it at this guy as she follows that up with a scorching blast, because why not?
Go for it. Roll it.
Crit.
Not a crit, but it
No.
is. Where did my numbers go? I got my crit of the night already. I would take another one. We had a lot of nat ones. Okay. Right, I keep eliminating this. Okay, that's a 24.
24 is the number. It meets, it beats. So roll your damage. If you can do 9 points of damage, it will kill it. It has 9 hit points left.
Get this bread.
Okay, I've got 2d8. So this actually could happen.
Looking at an average roll. Let's see this.
Let's go. Come on,
Oh,
baby.
don't put that kind of pressure of an average roll on my dice. You said there's 9 points left?
Uh-huh.
I kid you not, I rolled 9 points of damage.
Yes.
I feel like I need to like show that here. We have a 6 and a 3.
Woo!
As Marvok, his existence as a whole, you start to see his bones rattle and his body shake and him just implode in on himself. You all look at each other and you all see each other just disappearing from each other's view. You're out in space.
That'll do.
The stars are there. The moment you close your eyes to blink, when you open them, you find yourselves back. James is under the tree. Briar's in the middle of the town seeing her friend. And Samira is working in her workshop. But the tree doesn't attack James. The city doesn't scream. And Samira does not have a ball bounce to her feet. Their timelines back to normal. Their experiences, their own. But did they really happen? Or did they just prevent them from happening? And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all for playing. I hope this quick kind of run through of Pathfinder was helpful for you all, getting to learn how to play, getting to understand how the roles work. We're going to go around one more time and everyone can say their goodbyes. I'm going to go in reverse order of what I went to when we started. So now that she has water in her mouth, Samira, go.
Hey everybody, my name is Vixie and I'm your friendly neighborhood producer here at the Pocket Dragon Pub. I would like to extend a special thank you to Jake for coming in as our guest DM. If you haven't seen his channel, Alt Haven, please check it out. It's very popular, very well established. Some of the finest games and tables that I know play on that channel. I'm gonna hype him up because I can, haha. Anyway, so if you please check out his channel, it is on our favorites list on Twitch, and we have it's on our recommended on YouTube as well. So well, thank you again for watching, and yeah, move on to the next person because I'm out of stuff to say.
All right. That's going to go to Briar, who is played by Blonde.
Hello, I am that one blonde nerd on the socials. I'm also the owner and creative director of ADH Adventures. We do a lot of the TTRPG streaming stuff almost all of the time. And you can find me there streaming a bunch as well as on other channels and groups. And I'm super excited to be able to be here to be a guest again for the Pocket Dragon Pub. And it's been great being here. It's been great meeting you wonderful people and getting to play. So thank you so much for having me over. It was fun playing Briar too, Pathfinder.
Yes.
Awesome. Last but not least, James, who is being played by Solar.
Hey, everybody. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer. And you guys can find me over at twitch.tv/BID_P or on YouTube under Solar Gray or BidP Blurred. I'm old. I don't know how those things work. It says them both. I don't know. And this has been super fun. I haven't played a whole lot of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, so this has been a really cool instructional game, and I want to thank you for being that GM. And when I say that GM, I mean that in a good way. Like seriously, that GM, not that GM. And yeah, so thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure coming down to the Pocket Dragon Pub. I mean, you guys do some really cool stuff.
You guys are always welcome at the pub for a pint. So, and I do want to point out that both Back in the Deck Productions, which is Solar, and ADH Adventures, which is that one blonde nerd, are also on our recommended channels list on Twitch. Please look out for their streams as well. They are wonderful and fantastic, and I cannot hype everyone at this table up enough.
Awesome. I feel like I've been hyped up enough, so I don't need to say anything other than my name is Jake, Alt Haven. Bye, everyone.